These are 24 port switch, just a basic switch. It is similar to the one we are using in that simulation tool. It's called 2960, but that is 2960 for Cisco. This one is a 3Com. This one is for a company called 3Com. But anyway, functionality is the same, to difference to your company. So I think I'll share my whole screen so that kazi kwa rahisi nisishinde nikirudia. Let me see if I can share my whole screen. Advance. Looks like I can't do that, but I can share this tab. Okay. Let me give it a few minutes. Okay, fine. Hope all of you can see this tab. And I want you to note something as we're designing. I want you to note the type of routers and any device natumia, that is network devices. Kuna difference if you're dealing with Cisco. If you pick, for instance, if I pick an 1841 router and someone else picks a 2811 router, kuna difference. If I pick a 2960 switch or someone else picks maybe a layer 3 switch instead, kuna difference. So nayo difference inakujanga in terms of physical and also configuration. Kuna zile zingine ziko slightly configured, so you don't do much of the configuration. Kuna zingine completely they are not configured with anything. You do everything from scratch. So today I'll be mixing. And to begin with, let me just write here something because you can see my board. So today I'm doing Dhcp configuration. I'll be a little bit faster, so if you get stuck, I don't know if I can make that one bigger. Let me see. Nope. But I hope you people can see it. Kama uko na screen dogo, but bado kutakuwa na video, you can still watch later. Dhcp configuration. I'm going to do it in 4 ways. The first one, I'll use a server. You shall create a network with a server specifically for Dhcp, because we usually talk of a Dhcp server. Then the other one will configure a router to act as a server, a Dhcp server, that is. Then to know what is the difference, how do they work, which one is faster, which one is better, and why. So I'll start by designing a very simple network. I'll have two nodes. Then I'll come and pick a switch. 2960 is my choice always. Then for router, allow me to pick a 2811. 2811 like so. So let me add one more device here. Let me add a printer. Okay, I'll still add it later. Let me go into 2. Let me connect them together. I can use a straight through cable for all of them, but because I want this thing to be faster, I'll just pick the automatic connection like so. Last time we did configuration here, basic to your IP address, default gateway, those things. Today we're doing the same things, but sasa tunaifanya na automatic. So I won't go ahead and assign these things. These nodes IP, this automatic. So what I'll do, I'll come and add a server that will act as our DHCP. Then I'll rename this one to DHCP server, like so. So this one will act as our server. And remember, these things are simulation, so they are working. They have operating system. Hatuokoti tu tukitupa hapo. This thing can be implemented in a real world situation. Okay, give them a few time to boot. So what I'll do first, I'll come and configure these the DHCP, then nikuja configure router. Routers in Cisco, anytime you're dealing with a router, as long as it's new in that place, you configure it manually. Hakunanga router inakuwa configured automatic. Even these other ones, but zile kuna zile zinakuja sahi na automatic configuration. So you can choose either to edit and put yours ama uache uende na default, which in most cases usually take the default. Allow me to name this network. This is network 192.168.100.0/24. If I put a /24, wewe unaelewa /24 bits for the network prefix. That one it is in a CIDR. Okay, so tuanze na gani? Tuende tutengeneze kwanza default gateway, which is this interface from the router. And today I won't be using the interface. Allow me to use command so that pia tuzoee. Okay. Hope you can see these are the screen. Oh, let me just put it under new share. Let me put it under new share. Bas, make sure it is on top, like so. Okay. Initially tulikuwa tuna configure, tunakuja hapa tunachagua which port are we using, fastnet 0 ama fastnet 1, tunaiassign IP, tunaiassign ilikuwa tu IP na subnet mask, then we leave it, we make sure it's turned on. Nikicheck sahi all of them they are off. All of them are off. So using command is very, very simple. Allow me to say exit. Yes, from the very beginning. Yes, this is from the very beginning. So anytime you connect to a Cisco router, this is the terminal you see. This is the first thing you see. So the first thing you do, you type enable, or you can just en in short, or ene. This how itaelewa it's enable in full. Kama kuna password, this way it will ask you for the router password. Kama kuna itakufungulia like mine, it's passwordless. Then you go to something we call configuration terminal. Configuration terminal ni kupeleka router kwa that configuration mode. So that one you type configuration terminal in full, or you can type in short form as conf-te ama ter, or just T. I'm sure it will work like so. So we are in the configuration terminal. So what we need to do, we need to assign an IP to, okay, you can't see it now, to that interface where we have connected, and I'll choose the interface, the first Ethernet 00, iko hapa, this one, Ethernet first 00. So to do that one, okay, she already typed for me. Let me just go back and show you. So you type interface first Ethernet 00. You can type in short form. Sitaki ku type in fully because of time. So, or PI get used to the short form. Instead of writing interface, if I just write int, it knows that one is interface in full. If I just write FA, is know that one is first Ethernet. But nikiweka F na kuna kitu kingine naanza pia na F, itaniuliza which one do you want? Okay, like so. So niko kwa that. You can see it's changing from config to config if. Config if means you are in that port. I'm now on that port. So what I'll do, I'll add IP address. So the command is IP address, or IP add in short. Then it's 192.168.100.1 because it will be a default gateway. Then you leave a space, then you write this, you type the subnet mask to /24 255.255.255.0. Like so. Then you turn it on. To turn it on, you simply type no shut or no shutdown. Just to make sure it back in the up state, active state. So you say no shutdown or no shut. And if I do that, it will tell me change state to up. That means it may start. Then to save, in simulation mode, Niki cancel to automatic itaji save. But in real world, if you want to save, you type do write memory or mem in short, like using short form. Like so, building configuration. Okay, so imesave hizo configuration yako, you can simply say exit, like so. So what it's doing, it has gone back. Let me bring this other one. it has changed. Hope you can see my, because I see, hope you can now see my, my link is up, right? It may change from link state, of course, from red to orange, kibuta, then to green. So iko sawa sawa. Our next step is now to configure DHCP. Okay.
Can you just pardon the commands from signing IP address kindly?
Like nirudie.
Hebu rudi hapo kwa can you just go back to where you are assigning IP address to the router?
Okay.
Under that command IP add.
Okay. Let me delete this router niweke ingine afresh so that nikifanya is from start, isikuwe ina overwrite whatever I did before. So allow me to pick, I had picked a 2811 Cisco router. Connection, wacha nirudishe hiyo. Okay. If I click this router, are you able to see my hiyo nini imefungua ingine?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Okay. So if you're seeing it, I was saying, you simply go to CLI, that is command line interface. Would you like to enter configuration? Of course, yes. So anytime you boot a Cisco, why? Anytime you boot a Cisco router, that's where it will take you. It will take you, of course, itakuuliza mavitu ikistart. Kama kuna password before the BIOS, it will ask you. Itakufungulia this command line interface. So the first thing you do, you enable. Ku-enable ni kama kuiweka in that command line mode. So you simply type enable. Let me write in full. So kama kuna password sasa, hapo nitakuitisha password sasa ya ku-access the router. These ones you are connected. Remember, ukibuy Cisco router inakujanga na instruction on how to connect to it. If you don't know, you can still Google, or you can use an application called PuTTY. Simply connect your laptop to that router via what we call a crossover cable. It's called a crossover cable. Then ufungua PuTTY, of course, it detect na ikufungulie. But you can still do that on a separate video, though it's not under your costs, but ni sawa. Just take a look at what I'm doing. So nime-enable, kama ni password ilikuwa nishaweka. Then you go to what I was calling configuration terminal. Configuration terminal, so that you can begin configuring different interfaces or different things. You can change the router name if you want. You can configure a port. You can assign it IP. You can do everything. So to go to that configuration terminal, simply type configuration terminal. In full or in short form, ni sawa sawa. Okay, once you're there, for our case, we want to assign, if you can see, we want to assign this port, which is fast Ethernet. We can choose either 0 or 1. Iko off, so tunaweza ingiza kwa any. The configuration yetu ndio itachukua yenye tutakuwa tumeconfigure. So I'll go to that interface, and going to that interface, you simply type interface, then the name of the interface. It's fast Ethernet 000. So you can type again in full or in short form. Na type 2 in short form kwa sababu ya time na speed. So it int FA00 ama interface fast Ethernet 00. Once you click enter, it's already there. Gonna check in a change from configuration mode to configuration if. Once you're there, now uko kwa hiyo port, that is port faster than 00. So una assign IP na subnet mask. The command is IP address or IP add. Add in short form to your address imetumia. I can write AD, but AD bar itakubali ni sawa. IP address, then you write the IP address una assign your port. It is 192.168.101. Then you put a space, you type the subnet mask. Ilikuwa /24, so hapa tuta type, okay, we can't use slash here, Cisco it chooses that one. You write it in decimal. So it's 255.255.255.0. Like so. So usha assign. Let us now turn it on. Turn it on, you simply say no shutdown, no shutdown. Once I click that, if you check this other side, una check inaanza kuchange link state from red to orange to green. That means it's booting. So ukifika hapo, you now save. To save, the command is just do write memory. Any Cisco device utapatana nayo and you're doing configuration and you want to save, hiyo tu line moja, do write memory, and you click enter, utakuwa umesave. So that way we have already configured that port the same way tulikuwa tunafanya tu last time. So if you allow me to go back kutumia hii other method, utaona IP address ndio hiyo iko, subnet iko, and imetaniwa on, and that's what I've been doing, but now using command. I hope that one is clear. I'll go now to DHCP server. This is a server.
Can I ask a question before you go on?
Okay.
Is this command the same, or it depends with the type of network you have?
A command is same. Either una deal na Cisco router, either it's a switch, as long as inataka configuration kama hiyo. Commands in the same, haina difference.
Okay, thank you.
The same way I'm doing it's done the same way in the real world. So see, it's a simulation, yes, but command line interface is same. Okay, difference in the background is white, your background is black, but same thing. Anyway, okay, before nifungue hii, before I open this one, this server install hii server kwa hii network specifically to act as a DHCP server. Kazi ya hii server itakuwa tu ni kuassign anytime tuna add a new device in that network, kazi yake ni kupeana network configuration. That one is inclusive of IP address in a release out, default gateway, kama kuna DNS, kama kuna any other thing tunaweza weka subnet mask, all those things. So to do that using a server, simply open that server. If it's in a real world, of course, you know, server icon operating system utai start. Then you go to services. Services iko hapa, HTTP, DHCP, DNS, blah, blah, blah. If you want it to act as an email, FTP server, IoT, zote ziko hapa under services. For our case, it's just DHCP. So click on DHCP. Then this is how DHCP inawaka. Usually it's like you create a pool of IP. Pool, let me say a bag. You create a bag. Then inside that bag, unaweka ndani IP. Na hizi IP zenye ziko kwa bag pekee ndio utakuwa unapeana. Zenye ziko hapo ndani, you won't be issuing them. So you assign zenye ziko kwa bag. So configuring actually is just creating that bag and adding a few other configurations zenye ziko. Okay, so I won't use the default one. Allow me to go and create a new one. I'll call it so pool, network pool, you have to give it a name. Kama ni department, let me call it academic. Academic is the name of that pool. Default gateway, of course, tulikuwa tushaiweka huko juu. It is a .1. And once we make a 168.100, it knows what network it is. DNS, we don't need a DNS right now here. Start IP address ni penye unataka ianzie. You can choose it to start assigning from 100, 101, 102, 103, ni sawa. You can choose ianzie from 2 because 1 is already taken, sawa. So I'll pick a number, I'll pick 70, 168, 100. So it starts from 70. So the first device itapewa 70. Subnet mask, it's a /24, so it's 255.0. Maximum number of users inaweza pia limit hiyo. By default nikiweka 255. It's taking, okay, it's not 512, it's half of that, it's 254 to be exact. So hapo unaweza limit, unaweza taka, okay, still have 10 minutes. Unaweza taka ikuwe inapeana only 200 users, so you simply change from there. So watu wakifika 100, someone has a question, please. Okay.
Question please.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Hapo kwa IP address mbona umeweka 70? Mbona umeweka 70?
It is start IP. Ukitaka ianzie, I can still put 2. Ianzie from 2. So the first device ikiasainiwa ni from 2, 3, 4, 5 hivyo. Ni wewe mwenyewe unataka. So I can give it 2, I can give it 100, I can give it 70. Wewe mwenyewe unataka. Okay, let me change to 100. Ni sawa. That is just the start.
Okay.
But you can't give .1 as the start IP. You know why? Because it's being used by the default gateway. So yes, peana hiyo. Then you check, you make sure kila kitu iko sawa from the pull them, from start IP, default gateway, netmask, users, then you click on add. So you click on add. I don't need to click save. Then you make sure it's turned on because I go off. So turn on like so. Then once I close this one, it should be working. So we can test. Let me click on this laptop. Let me bring it on top. So last time tulikuwa tunakuja hapa, tuna select static, tunaweka site, tuna select DHCP. Then give it some time uone kama ita request iko successful. DHCP failed. Let me try again. It's still failing. Something we didn't define somewhere. Something we didn't define. Let me just go back to my DHCP server. Under DHCP, the service is on. It was this academic. Full name is academic default gateway DNS. Let me shorten this name. Something like net1. And let me say save. Let me try this other one. Sometime unapata way ina take time kupika particle simulation. Let me just make sure it is the one here ndio iko na shinda, not my configuration. It's still failing. Probably that means kuna mistake nimeweka mahali. I have a mistake somewhere. This one is very much correct. Let me change what? Name net1, okay. Default gateway. Kuna kitu nimeweka mahali wrong. Maybe niliweka 2 dots. Let me delete this one and simply rewrite it. If you are seeing the mistake, maximum number of users. Okay, saved. Oh, I'm seeing my mistake. I didn't assign this server an IP. Server in IP, so it laptop request IP inatoa wapi? Because server in IP. So I need to assign my, sorry about that. I need to assign my server a static IP. Because huwezi ipatia dynamic, huwezi ichukue kama na DHCP na hiyo ndio DHCP. And of course, anytime you have a server, usually give it a static IP. So that anytime kuna rebooting, kuna ile specific IP na baki kwa yake. So I'll give it, allow me to give it a .2. Nazipeanga ya kwanza. Default gateway ni 192.168.100.1. Like so, DNS hatuna haja nayo. So like so, I think that is good. That should be okay. Let me try once more. DHCP, it should now be working. Yeah, DHCP request successful. Unaweza ona hii imepewa .3, subnet mask iko sawa, default gateway tumegonga nje. But that one is simply on our. Let me go and change that one. Let me come back here and change DHCP. Default gateway nilikuwa nimetoa kwa hii. Default gateway iko net1, one, okay. These are the server. Try start IP for the default pool name. Let me just put something else different because inasoma kuna pulse mbili za the same network, so inajaribu kuona. Okay, so that we only have one of these. There's only 198, 168, 100. So if I come and try again, DHCP, yeah, it's now okay. Sasa imepewa, tuliega start from 100. So this is the first device kupewa imepewa 100. Subnet mask iko sawa, default gateway iko sawa, DNS hatukuweka. So let me try on another device. That was this laptop. Let me click on this desktop. Tuone kama pia na ita pick automatic. Hata isha pick kitambo. But it pick the other one. So simply click for static is out, then click DHCP request. So imechukua 101. The rest of the configuration iko sawa. So anytime I add a device here, let me add a new device and see if it will pick. Let me add a printer. A printer. Let me add a printer. See someone has a question, just give me a second. Let me add a printer like so. Let me give it time to reboot. Are you now seeing my screen? Kuna mtu amesema screen hatuoni. I don't know which one. Let me check and see which one is not visible. I guess nikikilikiza zingine. Okay, nimeandi printer, it's taking time to boot. Let me just see if it's okay. Bado, printer is still booting. Iko sawa. Let me share this one. Let me share this one. If you can't see my screen and you're able to talk on your microphone, please. Niambie mapema nisiendelee kuongea peke yangu. Okay, so I'm sure you can all see. Wacha start kind of slow kidogo. So this one tulikuwa printer unaenda tu under configuration, you select the port. Then by default iko static. So if I select the DHCP, it's supposed to pick something. Okay, very successful. Imepewa 102 subnet mask. Hiyo ni printer itaji default gateway. So hope it's okay now. Hope it's okay. You can still see my main screen. Naona nataka 40 minutes kanaisha. Kama mtu wako na swali, please uliza. Nione kama naweza rudia kitu within that minute. Then the next time tunakuja, we now try with two networks. Sasa tuko na networks mbili na DHCP moja. But I'll try to be much faster. Nikuwe faster kidogo ndio tupatie chance ya ku. Okay, let me just share my screen before I stop. If you have a question, you should be asked. Yeah, I want to share that. Okay, you should be able to see it before you funge. Okay. Ni sawa. I think I only have a minute. Okay, so I'm not seeing any question. Wacha ipotee irudi, then nijaribu sasa na two networks, two different networks. Then tuone how it behaves. So ikikulog inje, please come back immediately, because for the sake of time, katutoe turudi mbio. Let me give you people like 2 minutes. 2 more minutes after imetoa.